Nobody's gonna be like, oh, you're too short to do this, you're too tall to do this, you know? It's more of a, you just come here and you get to do what you do, self-express yourself through the park. Definitely, since the skate park's been built, there's been a lot of more little kids like on their sidewalk, like practicing how to skate. You see kids riding down the street on the way to the skate park. Since I've lived here, like a lot of the areas have been cleaning up, you know, moving towards a more positive direction.
Everyone has kind of come together and worked hand in hand in improving things for everybody. Something where you create positive activity throughout the day has such a spillover effect on pushing out crime, which has been amazing.
All walks of life can come here. Like, skateboarding is one of those things that's just like, it doesn't care what color you are or how much money you have. Like, if you have some wheels, a board, and some shoes, like, you're part of the crew, you know? Like, you can shred. Everybody's welcome.
The neighborhood has changed over the years. It was beautiful when I was a child, but it's beautiful now that I'm an adult. I'm blessed to have been able to see all of those changes over my 46 years here in the neighborhood.
Today we cut the ribbon for Bayou Courts, a mixed income apartment complex here in South St. Pete. The great part of this story is that this originally was going to be all market rate, but in partnership with Gravel Road and with the county, we were able to have 60 units here with a good mix of units that are affordable to folks making less than average income.
One of the cool parts about this project is it was specifically geared towards teachers, city workers, county workers, the people that run our area, the people that are educating our children. This is the place for them, and they made it a place that's welcoming, that's beautiful.
It tends to be the case that a lot of the folks that work in those jobs qualify for these projects, and most times they don't know that they actually qualify. But what we're talking about is a subset of affordable that truly serves that missing middle.
Already 21 of the units have already been rented out. So this is a great example of how we work together, how we can have affordable housing.
What you're seeing is the hard work really coming to fruition now, but also you're still seeing shovels go in the ground. I think that's the most important thing. We started to get the momentum. What you're seeing now is the ball actually rolling. We got to keep pushing, make sure that that momentum continues.
We'll persevere and make sure that we have that affordable housing that makes us the inclusive community we are.
My name is Shakayla Berthelo, and I am the first to graduate from the Gibbs High School EMT program and get hired on with St. Pete Fire and Rescue. A trailblazer is someone who is a discoverer, a creator, who takes risks. They aren't afraid to put themselves out there, and they're constantly trying to better themselves, not only for personal growth, though, for those around them. They're leading and they're bringing people with them. It's called the EMT program, EMT Preparatory Program at Gibbs High School. It's essentially 3 years long, and you'll go through what's the traditional EMT program that people would do outside of doing it through high school. But the classes that you take your sophomore, junior, and senior year are preparatory classes, kind of set you up for what you're gonna encounter when you start EMT school. It was definitely challenging for sure, and a lot of hardships to get over, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world because it set me up for this. Like, it gave me a ridiculous amount of opportunities, and I am so, so grateful for that. Growing up, I think I had two pretty important trailblazers. One would probably be Shirley Chisholm, who was the first Black female to join the U.S. Congress. It was monumental, especially at that time, because you didn't see a lot of strong Black females in positions like those. And also, Madam C.J. Walker, she's the first Black millionaire in America. She started her own hair care line for Black natural hair. And I think that is also incredible. Those are probably the two biggest trailblazers I had growing up. Just kind of let me know that if they can do it, I can do it, no matter what it is. I am a representation of you can do it. You set your mind to it and you can do it. Absolutely, do not hesitate, do it, because you can. So I say for people who are kind of struggling with that, or like struggling with the confidence of not being able to do something, I say just do it. Just do it, because you're only hurting yourself by not doing it. So just put yourself out there. You never know what's gonna happen.
The waterfront view is my favorite part about living right here in St. Pete.
Sounds of the water, the sounds of different species of birds. I find it very soothing and relaxing.
Everybody ride good? How you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. It's like a perfect day for it.
See the pelican? Yeah, he's fishing for some fish too. Say yay, fishing!
The waterfront view is my favorite part about living right here in St. Pete.
Sounds of the water, the sounds of different species of birds. I find it very soothing and relaxing.
Everybody ride good? How you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. It's like a perfect day for it.
See the pelican? Yeah, he's fishing for some fish too. Say yay, fishing!
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Just brushing up on some of my favorite literary classics. Even if a page turner like this isn't up your alley, did you know our libraries offer so much more than classic books? There's also things like passes to local museums. You can download ebooks onto your Kindle device. And super cool things like a team gaming program. Visit your local library and see all it has to offer.
Hey, that's my house, and this is my ASMR video about water conservation. I use water wisely. Ever have a drippy sink? You should fix it to not waste water, and also not to go crazy with that dripping noise. Look there, that's my automatic shut-off hose attachment. Super water conservative. Even when nature calls, I call nature and I say, "Hi, I'm conserving water with my high-efficiency tank." Okay, bye. Oh, hey, that's me. Just using my high-efficiency washer. Just listen to the sounds of water being conserved. Go to this website to learn more, St. Pete, and do what you can for water conservation.
Hello, my name is Bob Turner. I'm the Assistant Director of Sanitation for the City of St. Petersburg, and I'm here to talk to you about a very important issue called hot loads. Historically, hot loads for us were centered around hot coals that folks had put into the garbage cans. Now the new culprit is rechargeable lithium batteries. These batteries actually combust when crushed. So as soon as they go into our garbage trucks and we compress the load, either the batteries themselves or the devices that contain these batteries are crushed, they ignite, and they set the load on fire. The important thing for our residents to know is that these types of batteries and the devices that these batteries are in can't be thrown away in the regular garbage. They need to be taken someplace where they can be recycled, where they don't cause a hazard to our trucks or our drivers. The best way to find out information about where you can take a particular device or a battery is to go to the Pinellas County Solid Waste webpage and use their Where Does It Go tool. It's a great resource. You can type in the item that contains the rechargeable battery or the battery itself and they'll tell you what to do with it. It's important for our residents to please keep these items out of the trash so that we don't have trucks catch on fire and we don't risk our employees.
I'm Leo Anderson, co-owner of Taste of the Island Marketplace and Restaurant, 2231 34th Street South. I'm a family man and also a minister. I've been here in St. Pete now 5 years and I've been loving it. Life here is great. It's a great place to live, great place to rear my family. This year makes 30 years that my family's actually been running the restaurant business in St. Pete. Started into it with my uncle, who's my partner in the business, who had the restaurant already, so I kind of bought into the restaurant. The idea of the grocery store was always there. It's just that we fast-tracked it because this was empty and it was right beside. So, came in and started doing, the reconnaissance and what it would take to get the market off the ground. We have a very friendly atmosphere. We have a very, very welcoming family atmosphere. That's number one. We pride ourselves in treating people good, whether you're paying us or not. We want you to feel at home. From spices to ground provisions to just snacks. We bring in chips from Jamaica. We bring in a lot of drinks from Jamaica. We bring in spices from Grenada. We bring in fresh soursop, which is a highly sought after item from Grenada and from Dominica. We really try to take the stuff that we're used to on the island and bringing it into St. Pete and let people who have tasted it or would like to try it, they can come on over and indulge. From customer to the generals in charge of running the city and so on, we have felt the presence and we feel welcome. As I say, it's a love affair. We are here to stay, really, in St. Pete. 30 years already and we're just getting started, because as you can see, what the family is trying to do is pass it from one generation to the next, and hopefully, God tarry, I'll be able to pass it to the next generation.
it, body, body, move it, move it, move it, baby. Move it, body.
Hi, everybody. We're about to get started. Okay. Welcome to the February 2026 Code Enforcement Board evidentiary hearing. During this hearing, we will hear testimony from property owners and the city's Codes Compliance Department about whether a property is in violation of the city code. We will hear testimony from the city's Codes Compliance Department even if a property owner who has received notice of this hearing fails to appear. A property owner who arrives late after his or her case has been called, heard, and decided by this board will not have a right to be heard. The hearing will be conducted as follows. The city shall present its case first. After each witness has testified, the property owner may, through the chairperson of the board, cross-examine or ask questions of the witness. When the city has presented all of its case, the property owner may present his or her case. An attorney or some other representative may represent you. You can present evidence in your defense, either through witnesses or your own testimony. If you present photographs or written documents as evidence, they must be submitted to the board's recording secretary for the case file. The city will be able to cross-examine you and each of your witnesses. You have the right to remain silent, and your silence will not be held against you. You have the right to testify and have your testimony considered under the same standard as that of other witnesses. The board may ask questions of the witnesses on both sides as the evidence is presented. This is not a criminal proceeding. Strict rules of evidence are not applied during the proceedings. After the board has heard all testimony from both sides, the board will entertain a motion and may enter a closed discussion at that time. During the closed discussion among the board, no additional testimony from the city or the property owner may be heard. Based upon the testimony and evidence presented, the board will decide whether or not a violation exists and whether the violation has been corrected. If the board finds that there is a violation that has not been corrected, the board will order the property owner to correct the violation in a specific time period and a daily fine to accrue thereafter for failure to comply. Failure to correct the violation within the specified time will result in a fine for each day the property is not in compliance after that time period. After the board has made its decision, a copy of the board's finding and order will be mailed to the property owner of record. The correction of violations must occur before midnight of the deadline set for compliance. If the corrections are not made by the deadline, the fine will be imposed for each day any uncorrected violation continues after the deadline. If, after your case is heard, you wish to appeal the decision, you have 30 days to petition the Circuit Court of Pinellas County. Okay, if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and if you are going to give testimony, please remain standing so you can be sworn in.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Okay, some housekeeping before we get started. The cases will be called in order. You can see them up here in the back or right here in the front. The clerk will call out the item number and the address, and the codes investigator will be on this side. Any testimony you wish to give, you can give at this podium over here. There are water fountains and restrooms in the hall. Feel free to go out if you have to make or take a phone call, or if you need to use the facilities, feel free to do so, but be mindful of where you are in the order, because if we call your case and you're not here, oops. Please silence your cell phones. We want to hear everybody's testimony, and we can't do it if the phones are ringing. Alrighty, we need to do a roll call.
Schneider?
Here.
Hensler?
Here.
Henshaw? Here. Waite? Oseklis? Here. Williams? Hobbs?
Here.
Wilson? We're starting with item number 85, property owner Loren Real Estate Holdings, LV, investigator Joseph Brenori.
Good morning. I am Joseph Brenori, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 85, case 2527763, regarding the property located at 545 78th Avenue North, Building 512. I was sworn into this meeting. This property is a commercial structure and is occupied by tenants. This is a Codes follow-up case. The property was first inspected on November 19th, 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of December 17th, 2025. Property was last re-inspected on February 11th, 2026, and the following violation still exists. Exterior doors are in disrepair, including but not limited to maintenance door near Unit 212. 2 out of 3 violations have been corrected since this case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on February 11th, 2026. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 22069, page 2560. My last contact with the Director of Construction prior to today was February 19th, 2026, and he at that time did not know when that would be corrected. Now I've talked to him this morning. Department recommends 25 days and $200 per day thereafter for non-compliance. I would like to enter into evidence as Exhibit 1, photographs taken on February 11th, 2026, document 021126763 JCB, photos 1 and 2. Here's an elevation shot of building 512 and an example of the door disrepair. I would like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as exhibit number 2, and this concludes my presentation. So this is missing a handle, just in case you can't see.
Thank you, Mr. Brunoy. My sheet says permits. Does he need to pull a permit to do doors?
So I think that might have been the item before this that was closed as of this morning. They did get their permit just recently, and that case changed. So this is going to be for item 85.
Ah, okay, because it says 84 up there on the...
Right, there were 2 cases for Laura and 1 closed this morning.
Ah, okay. All righty. So do we need to change anything about how we read this in?
No, I read 85.
She read it in as 85.
Okay. All right. And what's wrong with the door? I see there's a big red X.
Yeah, several doors are in disrepair in this apartment building.
Okay. All righty. Thank you. Does anybody have questions for staff? Okay, good morning, sir. Could you give us your name and address for the record, please?
Joshua Dolan, 1815 Dodge Circle South, Melbourne, Florida, representing Loren Real Estate Holdings, LV.
Okay. And you're like director of maintenance?
I am overseeing the renovation project for the lender that's currently holding the asset.
Okay, so what's your timeline on the doors?
So we have doors will be dropped on site next week. We are actually waiting for permitting to get gone through. We have permitting on most of the buildings. There was some confusion on GC's part where we were submitting interior permits outside of the exterior permits. They have since came back to us and voided 15 of our permits, asking us just to modify the ones that are in play. So this one will be applied to a permit number 11001099, and that modification should be going on record as early as next week.
Okay. So how much time do you think you need?
The 25 days would be well more than needed to get the permit started and get the doors in place.
Okay. Questions?
No, if 25 days is fine, then why can't he just take what the city's offering? And
Well, because he had to be here today to straighten the other one out, I guess.
I didn't know that was an option to take what.
I'm sorry, sir, I couldn't hear you.
I didn't know that was an option just to take the recommended and not come in today. Because that would have been an easier trip for me.
Mr. Dolan, we love seeing you every month. Don't
thank
get
you.
it twisted. But yes, if you're okay with the staff recommendation, you don't have to come to the board.
Okay.
And then you would just be given the staff recommendation.
Our cases are getting smaller and smaller each month.
I did notice that. Maybe are you getting tired of us?
No, sir, not at all. We would like to invite you out one day, but let's get a little bit further through the process.
Fair enough.
Well, we're not tired of you, but we are tired of Lauren.
I could imagine so.
Do we still need to read something in? Okay. Yes. I'll read. Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code, as stated by the code's investigator, have not been corrected. The board orders Loren Real Estate Holdings LV to correct the violations within 25 days or by March 22nd, 2026. This order is not complied with, a fine of $200 per day imposed.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Let's vote.
Osseklis?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Henshaw?
Yes.
Hensler?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes. All right, sir, you have your 25 days. Good
Thank
luck.
you all. Have a great week.
Item number 70, property owner Timothy Lee and Velma L. Postel, investigator Jose Rodriguez.
70, okay.
Excuse me. Good morning. I'm Jose Rodriguez, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 70, case number 25-21622, regarding property located at 1151 10th Avenue South, and I was sworn in at this meeting. This property is a single-family structure and is vacant. This is a citizen complaint case. The property was first inspected on August 11th of 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of November 7th of 2025. Property was last re-inspected on February 17th of 2026, and the following violations still exist. Per city arborist, the condition of the tree appears to be in substantial decline and extensive decay, significant canopy dieback, and the tree must be removed. 0 out of 1 violations have been corrected since this case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, delivered by certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on February 9th of 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 20010, page 1052. During the course of my investigation, my last contact with the owner prior to today was on February 9th of 2026, and the owner did not indicate when the violations would be corrected. The department recommends 25 days and $150 per day thereafter for non-compliance. There are no additional relevant facts regarding this case, and I would like to enter into evidence exhibit number 1, photographs which are taken on February 17th of 2026. Document CEB 0217-26622 JR and photos 1 through 3. This first photograph is the elevation of the structure, and the tree is back to the right. Another picture of the tree, the actual canopy. And just a closer picture of the tree itself. I would like to enter this fact sheet into exhibit, evidence, excuse me, as exhibit number 2, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Does anybody have questions for staff?
A quick one. You said, was this a citizen complaint? You said?
Yes.
Can you just, is there a neighbor that's afraid it's going to fall on their house or something?
I believe so. So it was the neighboring the neighboring property that made the complaint. His next door neighbor made the complaint.
Thank you.
I had a question. It looks from the photos that the tree is actually hanging over the house in question, not over the neighbor's house. Did I see the photo wrong, or? It's hard to tell, but just looking at it.
I mean, I actually still have it up. So, I mean, that's the way it appears. I'd have to just go out and look at it again.
Hard to say. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Anybody else? Good morning, gentlemen. Could I have your names and addresses for the record, please?
My name is Timothy Lee. I live at 1151 10th Avenue South, St. Petersburg.
Is the other gentleman going to testify?
Devin's not here. No. Just Timothy. This is my nephew with me.
Okay. We would need his details if he's going to talk. That's all. So, Mr. Lee, what are you going to do about the tree?
Well, I'm testifying to, we moved there in 1967. And this tree that you're looking at was on the outside of our fence, of our property. And up until this time, the guy, he put a column up on the end. And if you can see my fence, as I put my fence back up, I got to put the tree inside of my fence, which I don't believe the tree belonged to me at all. That's the problem. The tree did not belong to us. From 1967, the tree was outside of the fence all this time until now.
Okay, do you think it belongs to a neighbor?
Why does it belong to me? I didn't complain.
Is it on your property, sir?
1967, we had a fence put up on my property, and that tree was on that side of my property. But since now that I put my wood fence up, the guy put a column down there. In order for me to put my fence up, I have to put the tree.
Mr. Lee, have you had a survey done of your property?
No, No, I haven't.
Yeah, I think the bottom line comes down to if the tree's on your property, it's your issue. If it's not, then maybe it's someone else's. But we got to know whether the tree is on your property.
That's what we're here for, you know. They made the complaint. Do I have to go for the survey?
You have to get a survey, sir.
Well, okay.
That's the only way you're gonna.
Why not they're here in court?
Does the city have a,
Why they're not in court?
whether it's on his property or not?
I don't know.
It's on both.
One that
It looks like both.
it says that the roots are directly abutting the house, so that's how this is the tree that we're looking at. The roots are directly abutting the house. If the property owner provides us a survey and the tree is not on his property, we could then reevaluate our violation notice, but.
Okay.
I have a quick, because you had indicated, or unless I wrote it down wrong, that this house is vacant.
It is, yes, ma'am.
Okay, because you just identified it as your address. Are you living in this property?
No, I'm not living there.
Oh, we need that address where you're living, sir.
Ma'am?
The Largo address.
Largo? No, I don't live in Largo.
Okay, what address are you living in right now?
I live with my nephew,
And that address is?
1650 Fifth Avenue South.
Okay, that's what we need. Thank you. So the way it shakes out here is that unless you have a survey done that proves the tree is not on your property, as it stands right now, the tree is your responsibility.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
they reported the tree. I could have reported the tree to them. Why do I have to go through this? I'm legally blind. My nephew is legally blind. And we're down here trying to take care of business. Why it have to be on us?
Because the tree appears to be on your property.
Appears. That's
I
appears.
can't say for
I moved there in
I didn't
1967. I moved there in 1967. That tree was on that side. Ever since all up to this
Sir,
time. Why it have to be my
fence-
tree?
where a
If it's my tree, I ain't got no problem with it. I got no problem with it. Take it right down.
Where-
So y'all got pressure on me about something that I don't know anything about. So you got pressure on me about what you're gonna do to my place. And I don't think it's right.
Where a tree sits on your property is your problem, and it's something you have to fix. Fence lines
did the
are
survey?
not,
Do I
excuse me,
have to
sir.
have a survey done?
Sir, I'm speaking to you.
Yes, ma'am. Call on me.
Fences are not true property lines. Just because, I can put a fence anywhere I want, as long as my neighbor doesn't complain. In order to solve this and prove or not prove that you own the tree, you are gonna have to get a survey done.
I don't wanna spend a dime, but they're the one that did it. I will help if I have to. I'm gonna put it on them. I'm gonna let them know I need a survey. I will take care. I don't feel it's right.
Okay, and I'm gonna try and.
Yeah, I don't feel that's right.
Because you have a valid point. If you conduct a survey and it's determined that your neighbor was wholly responsible and they did this negligently,
Right.
sue them in small claims court and get your money back.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Or the appearance is that it's on you to start. They may end up being the ones that finish, but right now, the burden is on you. And so our job is to give you an opportunity to take care of that so that you can fix that, because the last thing in the world you want is to have a lien on that property after owning it all those years. So I understand it probably seems unfair at this point, but we're just looking at how it appears. If it's wrong, and they'll be the first one to admit it, and you can explain it to the judge, and the judge will say to the neighbor, shame on you for just being so negligent. But we're not that court. We're just the court that's looking at the way the tree appears right now.
Okay. But I'm hearing that I got to get the tree down. If I don't get the tree down, this gonna happen, and this just come up on me. This is what I'm hearing. If I don't get the tree down.
If you want to do the survey first,
Ma'am?
you can. Because if it's not your tree, then
You want it?
you're done.
Okay.
But if it's determined to
All right,
be
we'll do-
your
we'll get-
tree, then yes, sir, you've got to cut it down.
We'll do it like that.
Chair, I think it'd be appropriate if the board would like to provide some time, we can review the location. I mean, it's kind of right on the border of the two property lines, and there is a utility pole in the back that might give us a good idea, just from a visual of, because typically those are, within the boundaries. And if we find, after further review, that it's a shared tree, essentially between the two properties, then we would cite both owners at that point in time. And, obviously, we wouldn't want this current owner steps ahead in the process when the previous owner, or if we find that the other abutting owner could be responsible as well. So we would just kind of restart everything back to square one and hope that the neighbors are able to work out a deal to share the cost of removing the tree or whatever the case may be. But these can be challenging when it's a shared tree. But we're happy to take a second look at it. If you guys provide some time, we can make that happen. And then if we find that it is, we'll reset everybody to the same time frame. And then you'd see this at some point in the future if they don't take care of it.
So you would need a survey, though, to do that?
It's real. I'm just looking at Google Maps, so the angles and stuff aren't great.
Yeah.
I'd have to go out there and physically see it. It is right. It's pretty close to the boundaries.
How much time do you need?
60 days?
You give them 60 days. We can go out there, do an assessment, and then figure that out, and then again reset the clock if it is a shared tree situation.
But if it's not, he's gonna need more time to be able to get a survey done. So bear that in mind too.
Are we looking at like 90?
I'm thinking.
Been since August, it's a citizen complaint.
I know,
But
but
it's
the
the citizen
citizens-
that may end up being responsible.
Yeah, the citizen that's complaining may be the other side of this problem.
Yeah, there's a whole nother issue too. If he put the fence, sounds like the fence is on the neighbor's yard.
Who knows
That's a
where
different
that
problem.
fence is?
Right.
In our neighborhood, they can be 3 feet off.
It looks like the fence was probably installed to avoid the tree, obviously, and maintain the privacy. So that could be another encroachment issue. So we
I'm
won't
just
get into
saying.
that today. But
That's another day.
Could open up a whole nother can of worms.
All right, so somebody want to read something?
I will. Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code as stated by the code's investigator have not been corrected. The board orders Timothy Lee and Velma L. Postal to correct the violations within 60 days or by April 26, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $150 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for 60 days and $150 per day. Any discussion?
We were gonna do 90, so that the city
mean,
had 60 and
If the code investigator goes out there, he can go out there next week and and do what Mr. Waugh was suggesting and decide whether it is or isn't in dispute from the city's perspective. I mean, how much time do they need to go do that?
why, I think the city just suggested 60.
Right.
That's why we added 30 to it.
I think 60's fine.
I think we should vote.
I do too.
Let's vote, Paige.
Okay. Seklis?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Henshaw?
No.
Hensler?
No.
Hobbs?
No.
Wilson?
No. So, somebody else want to try?
Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code as stated by the code's investigator have not been corrected. The board orders property owners Timothy Lee and Velma Postal to correct the violations within 90 days or by the date of May 26, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $150 per day shall be imposed.
Second?
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and would you tell me the number of days again, please?
90.
90. Alrighty, any discussion? Let's vote.
Seklis?
No.
Schneider?
No.
Henshaw?
Yes.
Hensler?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes. All right, sir, you have 90 days, and we hope that we can get this all worked out.
Okay,
All right?
I just want to say this before I leave.
Sure.
I'm a property owner. The people that call in on me are rentals.
Uh-huh.
So they don't own the property. I own my property.
Right.
They call and say that this happened to me. Now I got to take down a $7,000 tree.
Did you hear the city say they're gonna try and help you before you spend that money, before you walk out of here and get all mad?
Listen.
Did you hear the city say that they're gonna try and help you with this? Did you hear them? Then give them a chance to do that. That's why we gave you extra time.
If you would please see Mr. Rodriguez out in the hall, he can arrange things with you, all right? Thank you, sir.
Y'all have a nice day.
Item number 88. Property owner STPMF LLC, investigator Joseph Brenori.
Is it 88 or 89?
89.
I'm sorry, the tab was on the wrong page. It is 89. Property owner Mohammed S. Tayagui, investigator Joseph Bernori. My apologies.
Okay, we're all having a day.
Yeah, it's that kind of day.
Good morning. I am Joseph Bernori, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 89, case 2525141, regarding the property located at 300 89th Avenue North. I was sworn in at this meeting. This property is a single-family structure and is occupied by owner. It's a C-click fix case. Property was first inspected on October 2nd, 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of October 27th, 2025. Property was last re-inspected on February 11th, 2026, and the following violations still exist. Screens and porch walls are in disrepair, and there is outdoor storage junk that would need to be removed or stored within an enclosed structure throughout the front area, carport, side and rear yard. 1 out of 3 violations have been corrected since this case began. Notice of hearing was sent, first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on February 11th, 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 16897, page 0667. My last contact with the owner prior to today, on February 11th, I left the voicemail, and the owner did not indicate when the violations would be corrected. The department recommends 25 days and $100 per day thereafter for non-compliance. I would like to enter into evidence as Exhibit 1, photographs taken on February 11th, 2026, document 021126-141, JCB photos 1 to 4. Here's an elevation shot of the property. Couple views of the rear yard, some of the outdoor storage items that would need to be put in an enclosed structure, some of the debris, junk. I think this is a little bit of a longer view, and then the next photo will be a closer up of the other viewpoint. So here you get some more items that would need to be stored within an enclosed structure. You can see some of the torn screen and some of the disrepair to this back porch area that was cited as well. I think this is a close-up. I'd like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as Exhibit number 2, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Bernori. Does anybody have questions for staff?
I have a question. On the porch disrepair, I saw the screens. What's up with the walls?
So I think there was another viewpoint. At one point, the neighbor allowed me access into their yard, and I think in an older case photo, it shows another example of the porch disrepair. In this case, I was able to, while posting, get that photo from the porch.
Okay.
Without contacting the neighbor and without permission from the owner to go into their yard.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Good morning, sir. Could we please have your name and address for the record?
Morning, Chairperson, members of the board. I'm Attorney Sean Lopez on behalf of the property owner, Mr. Tayagi. My office address is 700 7th Avenue North, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33701.
Okay. So how much time does Mr. Tayagi need to get?
Respectfully, we're asking for 60 days and imposition of a fine of $100 per day. I saw pictures of the property when I met with the client yesterday. Based off the photos that I've seen, I have not physically been to the property. All of the junk has been removed. I believe 2 vehicles were also removed yesterday. From what I've seen, I believe the only thing that's remaining is the screen and porch walls. He has repaired some issues in the front of the house as well. I don't know if that was cited or not, but it was repaired. The issue is he's working with another attorney here from property damage from, I don't know, from the hurricanes 2 years ago at this point. That's in dispute. He needs the money in order to fix the porch walls. I think it's a little bit more encompassing than that, but nonetheless his claim is in dispute and is being denied temporarily, is my hope. I haven't had a chance to speak with that attorney or know where that's sitting at. I'm asking for 60 days because I believe I will end up before the special magistrate if he's not able to get the funding to fix the property. I believe the flooding is a little bit more more encompassing than I'm aware of at this point, and that's probably why his claim is being denied. So for that reason, I'm asking for 60 days just to avoid having to get before the special magistrate sooner rather than later.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
They shouldn't need a lot of time just to finish cleaning up the yard.
It's my understanding, based on the photos that I saw yesterday, that's not an issue anymore.
Well, the codes investigator will go out and check that item off if it's
Yes.
truly clean. But it doesn't release the other violation, which is the porch.
The screens and porch, from the photos I saw yesterday, it looks like it's been cleaned up. I didn't see any debris based off the photos, but there is disrepair. It does look like there was some water damage. How far that goes, I don't have that information. That's something that I'm gonna have to figure out. I'm not sure if he's gonna keep his attorney that's working on his property damage claim. That's something he asked me to look into, but I've only had this client for a couple days now, so I haven't had a chance to do a full investigation. But nonetheless, I do believe this is gonna end up further along. I don't believe that property is gonna be able to be repaired without him having that funding. He doesn't currently have the money.
Okay. Well, do you know if this property was flooded?
I'm assuming based off the photos that I've seen and what he's told me, I don't know how in-depth it is. Based off my opinion, I'm not an expert on property damage other than my experience as an attorney. I believe that there has been flooding damage based off what I'm seeing on the outside of the property from the photos. It looks like the wood is warping. It looks like it was engulfed. It looks like there is a line, but I don't know.
Or St. Pete, they got hit.
Chair, we do have this property on the damage assessment.
Do you? All right.
I have a question for the investigator. On the porch repair, were there walls? And the walls are gone now?
Yeah, but I'd have to look into the case file and see that again. But I do remember disrepair to especially the rear of the porch area.
The walls are still there.
Trim work rotted and had, fallen and maybe even some holes, as I remember it.
Okay. Because I couldn't see the walls. I saw the torn screen.
This was written, let's see what the violation text actually says. Screens and porch walls are in disrepair.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Somebody want to read something on this?
I'll try it. Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code as stated by the code's investigator have not been corrected. The board orders Mohammed S. Tiaki to correct the violations within 60 days or by April 26, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $100 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion for 60 days and $100 per day. Any discussion?
I was looking at 45, but I don't think that's going to be enough. This has been going on for a while. It's in the back.
And I think
So-
you're right. I think the neighbors will be happy if the yard's cleaned up. I
Yep.
don't think they're gonna be so concerned if they're fixing the wall.
In all likelihood, the neighbors are in the same spot with
Probably.
flood damage.
Probably.
Okay, let's vote.
Alseklis?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Hanshaw?
Yes.
Hensler?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes. All right, sir, your client has 60 days. We wish him and you good luck.
Thank you for your consideration, board. Have a good one.
You too.
Item number 13, property owner Everest Flagler Point LLC, investigator Bobby Calhoun.
Good morning, I'm Bobby Calhoun, Housing Support Specialist for the City of St. Petersburg. Testifying in reference to item number 13, case 25-27939 regarding property located at 2540 Roy Hanna Drive South. I was sworn in at this meeting. This property is a commercial structure and is occupied by tenants. This is a codes follow-up case. The property was first inspected on November 21st, 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of December 18th, 2025. The property was last re-inspected on February 18th, 2026. The following violations still exist. At Unit 454, stair railings are rusted and partially secured to posts. At Unit 458, the horizontal support beams for the upper balcony are deteriorating and in disrepair above the areas where they're attached to the vertical support posts. Also at 458, the posts on the upstairs landing are beginning to crack and show signs of deterioration. Unit 458, chipping and peeling paint was observed on the underside of the upper landing, and the posts on the upstairs landing are missing paint in some areas. At Unit 466, chipping and peeling paint was observed on the underside of the upper landing. And again, at Unit 458, the top stair has holes and loose material present, creating a possible tripping hazard, and the sixth stair from the bottom is loose and not secure. 0 out of 4 violations have been corrected since this case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on February 13th, 2026, at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 22633 and page 0545. During the course of my investigation, my last contact with the property manager was prior to today was on February 24th, 2026, and the property manager indicated that the violations would be corrected within 60 days. The department recommends 25 days and $200 per day thereafter for noncompliance. Additional relevant facts for this case are that partial violation corrections have been made since this case started, but permits will be required for some of the balcony and stair repairs. I have advised the property manager to contact the building department to determine what that process will look like. Additionally, as of February 23rd, 2026, a separate unsafe case has been started by our demolition coordinator. He has informed the property manager that they are required to apply for a permit by March 25th, 2026, in order to repair the balcony connected to the front doors of Unit 458 and 460. If a permit has not been pulled by this date, the balcony will be posted unsafe, as will the affected units. I would like to enter into evidence as exhibit number 1, photographs which were taken on February 18th, 2026, document 02182699 RCCEB, and photo numbers 1 through 13. We've got a somewhat of an elevation shot looking up. These are all staircases leading up to second floors, and these are the only doors providing entry to these units. We'll start at the beginning here. 454 and 456 elevation shot. There's a railing that's got some rust and holes on it. The back side of that railing, the bottom part of the banister is just not connected. The next series of units, this is one where the posts are cracking and showing disrepair. This is the area where we would possibly post the stairs and the units unsafe. This is the same area underneath. A little up close. And then directly underneath, looking outwards. And then standing on the stairs, looking directly at that same horizontal post. These are those posts again upstairs. More disrepair of the same area, posts upstairs, and then portions of the balcony missing. And then 466 and 468 elevation shot. This is the underside of that balcony with some chipping and peeling paint and possible wood in disrepair. And back to the beginning. I would like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as exhibit number 2. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Does anybody have questions for staff?
I do. Does it appear that they're working their way through the buildings in this complex and this is the next one up, or that is?
I'm
I know
unsure.
they had other damage
There's
in this.
a lot of work that's being conducted at this property in various stages. There's a lot of roof repairs and a lot of balcony repairs. We do have separate cases for balconies that are being repaired without permits or that we don't have movement on permits for, so we're trying to get ahead of what is damaged out there and make sure that they're heading to the building department appropriately.
Thank you, that was my recollection. Okay, thank you.
I had a question. Are these balcony accesses the only way that they can get into their units?
Yes, so that's why those two specific ones, if the permit is not pulled within 30 days, the demolition coordinator would post those two upstairs units, and possibly the downstairs ones is unsafe because they wouldn't be able to access them.
Do you know if those units are occupied?
I do not know.
Anybody else have questions for staff? Good morning. Could we please get your name and address for the record?
Name Shirlene Sheffer, address is 2540 Rappahannock Drive, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33712.
Okay, and how are you connected with Everest Flagler Point?
I'm the assistant manager.
Okay. So, what's going on here?
To my knowledge, last time he came to the property, the owner did advise him that permits were being pulled and the work will be starting next week. But like she advised, we are working in stages. We are still doing roof repairs. So as we do roof repairs, we're working on balconies and stairs next. It is in stages. We're just asking for more time.
So what you're saying is you're taking this building by building? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay, so when is this building scheduled?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know all the roofs are done, so that's their next project is balconies and stairs.
Oh, I thought you said you were doing the roofs and the balconies.
Well, they're doing roofs building by building. They're done with that, so now they're working on stairs and balconies building by building.
Okay. Are there tenants in these units?
Yes.
Are you collecting full rent on those units?
Yes.
Can you relocate them?
Yes, we can do that if that's needed.
Do you know if you filed any permits recently as it pertains to the units 454 and 458?
To my knowledge, the owner said yes, he did file for permits.
Does the city show any record of permits being filed?
I do not have anything, but commonly with the apartment complexes, they could be listed under different addresses, so we would ask for a permit number at this point.
Do you know if you have a permit? You don't have the permit number with you.
I can get it to him if he needs it.
How much time are you looking for?
At least 2 months.
I'm sorry, at least how long?
2 months.
The city's on record saying
30 days.
about 30 days
Yeah, so
to get a permit, right?
Right, the building official reviewed the photos and she said 30 days to pull a permit, otherwise we would have to proceed with posting it unsafe.
Right. So you're aware of that, obviously, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You're aware you're charging full rent for a building that's about to be declared unsafe.
Well, the problem is that she probably doesn't have the authority to do anything about it.
But they sent her here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, in 30 days, if they don't have that permit, those tenants are gonna have to leave.
I know, and it's been almost 2 years. These are hurricane damage.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
This case was opened in November of last year, is what I wrote down.
Yes.
But the damage to the property dates to the hurricane.
Yeah, some of it's probably pre-storm even.
Okay, somebody want to read something?
I'll try.
Okay, thank you.
Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code, as stated by the code's investigator, have not been corrected. The board orders Everest Flagler Point LLC to correct the violation within 30 days or by 3/27/50. That's my birthday. 3/27/26. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $250 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
So we have a motion for 30 days and $250 per day. Any discussion? Let's vote.
Alseclas?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Hanshaw?
Yes.
Hensler?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes. All right, ma'am, you have 30 days, and we hope that that lights a fire under the owner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 120, property owner, Bravo 6 Investments LLC, investigator Zoraida Melendez.
Good morning. I am Zoraida Melendez, co-investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item 120, case number 25-26843 regarding property located at 536 17th Avenue South. I was sworn in at the beginning of this meeting. This property is a multi-family structure, and there is one tenant occupying. This is a code follow-up case. This property was first inspected in October 30th, 2025, and violation notice sent to the owner with compliance date of December 10, 2025. This property was last re-inspected on February 6, 2026, and the following violations still exist. All building units have been completed throughout some renovation all building units have been completed, although some remains under renovation without an active PDE permit. Additionally, a few buildings' roofs are in disrepair, outstanding, or ongoing work, including but not limited to drywall installation or repairs. Electrical, plumbing, air conditioning units have been removed from the wall. Several windows and doors have been replaced. 0 out of 1 violation have been corrected since this case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and it was posted at the violation address on February 6, 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in the official county record book 23261, page 0172. I haven't had any contact with the owner. My only contact was with the owner's attorney as of yesterday, and there is no indication when this violation will be corrected. The department recommends 25 days and $200 per day thereafter not in compliance. Additional relevant fact is there's 3 roof permits that expire on April 29, 2025. Also, there is a permit for repairs on 2512001282 that was just filed for some minor repairs, but it's still in process. And there's no other permit for all the renovations that have been done at this complex. I would like to enter into evidence Exhibit 1 photos which were taken on September 26, 2025 and 2/6/25, and I have 1 through 26, but I might not show all of them because there are too many pictures. So this is the front elevation of some of the buildings. Now this picture is after the storm. This is the interior of the damage after the storm. And as you can see, the ceiling, there's a lot of damage on this unit. This is another unit that was damaged. And this is another unit on the interior. I'm going to go back to the ones that I just took recently. Sorry about that. So this is one of the units that is under repair. As you can see, there's new floor, drywall, ceiling, there's new doors, outlets. a lot of these windows, some of them still missing, and some of them have been repaired. Also, the roof have been repaired. On this building, all the AC units was removed from the outside, and you could see the new drywall that was put in the inside. And some of these windows are also being replaced. This is one of the occupied units. This is another exterior wall in this repair where the AC was removed. This is another unit under renovation. This picture here is one of the units that was gutted all the way to the studs, and it's still like that. And there was some materials ready to start working on it. This is another apartment on a different building. And this is a different apartment on a different complex. I would like to enter these fact sheets into Exhibit 2, and this will conclude my presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Melendez. How many buildings in total are there here?
I believe there is
There's 9.
9 and 48 apartments.
Okay. And did all the ground floor units, and I guess some of the upper floors, get damaged?
Yeah, there's, I believe there are all one,
During
yeah.
Helene, yes, the first floor units experienced flooding, and then there was Milton damage. A few of the roofs were damaged. There's unsafe cases on some of them. Additionally, the floodplain team did review these structures and found them to be substantially damaged pre the unpermitted work.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone else have questions?
I have a question. Go ahead. It looks like they're converting to central air, and if they're not, and no permits have been pulled, so they did all electrical with no permits.
Correct.
Just since this is primarily a permitting issue that we're talking about, just to make sure I understood what you went through from a permitting standpoint, there were multiple roofing permits that were expired in April of last year, so that's just to make sure. And then you said there was one, I think your words were, there was one permit for minor repairs or small repairs? Is
Yeah,
that
they
what you
just
said?
filed for a permit. I forgot to put the date down, but it was just recently, sometime last week. And the notes are just for minor repairs.
It doesn't cover, I'm assuming that the permit that was just applied for doesn't cover enough that, what we just saw.
Correct.
What
So
is required.
The only permit I see is from December of 2025, only mentions interior repairs to first and second floors. It hasn't been routed anywhere because the E-plan is missing info. So the applicant needs to submit more information for them to be able to route it to the appropriate city departments.
So that permit could potentially cover everything, but we don't know, right?
Right,
Because
they
they
would
haven't
need to add
submitted
to
the plans with it.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Good morning, sir. Could we have your name and address for the record?
Good morning, Board. My name's Ross Maybury. I'm the attorney for the property owner, Bravo 6 Investments LLC. My address is my law firm, Perry Grumman, PA, 3400 West Kennedy Boulevard, Tampa, Florida, 33609.
Perfect. So, your client doesn't believe in getting permits and having inspections?
That is not accurate, Your Honor. My client actually didn't obtain ownership of the property until August of 2025. I have a copy of the warranty deed here if they wanted to see it. It's a matter of public record, though. But on August 4th, 2025, my client purchased the property in essentially the condition that it was today. So the expired roofing permits had been purchased by the prior, or had been applied for by the prior property owner. My client came in. I do have some questions for the board regarding the photos, because I'm advised that when my client purchased on August 4th, 2025, Building D had already been gutted at the time of purchase. And it's my understanding that unless she can give me a different unit number, all of the gutted pictures that were provided are gutted pictures of Building D. My client has provided me with some other pictures related to other units showing their state at the time of purchase, and those are the buildings that are being, the units that are being renovated. And those renovations, per the pictures I've seen, are minor cosmetic repairs, appliances, kind for kind fixtures being exchanged out. I have no knowledge of my client doing any of the conversion to central air work. If that had occurred, it's my understanding that work that was done without a permit would have been initiated by the prior owners before August of 2025. I was just retained on this case yesterday. I've talked to my client at length about that. It's likely that we're going to be having to get a more expert general contractor to take over this project. We're going to have to get drawings. We're going to have to go through the entire permitting process. It's going to be time consuming, but I'm going to help guide my client. He's an out-of-state owner of this property, to do things correct and by the books. So at this point, we obviously understand the violations run with the property, and that is my client's problem now, but we would be asking for 120 days because we are going to need to get engineering drawings, and there's going to be, an extensive permitting process that we're going to have to go through.
Okay, let's start here. If your client hasn't done any of the work, and you're maintaining that all of the work that we've seen done was by a prior owner, it boggles my mind that drywall has been left exposed to the elements in those holes and is still standing. All it's going to take is moisture and those things should crumble. So I'm not buying my owner didn't do anything.
And I was going to say, do you have the pictures that you referred to? Can we see pictures? You can present them to
I have 3 sets of pictures if I can approach.
If you can provide them to our clerks.
That's fine.
And
Let me keep one for myself. Give me one second.
furthermore, just to pile on, we sit here every month and have since the storm and heard homeowners come in and tell us the unfortunate situation that they found themselves in, that work was done to their home prior to them buying it, and now as a result of the storm, that work has come to light, and they're being asked to get an after-the-fact permit for a garage conversion that happened 20 years ago. So the same sort of, we have to apply the same standards to a commercial owner as we would to a homeowner. So I understand that your client claims a lot of this happened before they bought it, but that's irrelevant.
And did they buy the property sight unseen?
They're not a state owner, so I believe so, yes.
And the price didn't reflect damage?
I assume that some of the property price did reflect damage. I don't have that information. I was just hired yesterday.
Yeah.
May I? Just to add, we have several and multiple time, and we was talk to the workers, and as the 6th, there's active work at the buildings.
Yes, Chair. I think it's it's obvious that an out-of-state owner comes in and purchases this property, is unaware that it's within a flood hazard area potentially, is unaware that it's been determined to be substantially damaged, believes that they can just come in and do cosmetic repairs without requiring permits. And this is exactly the reason that we did the work that we did after the storms, to prevent situations like this from happening. and to prevent this from being completely renovated and rehabbed and having new tenants move in there with no idea of the work that was completed. Had they done their due diligence and understood, what was required within the city of St. Petersburg, then they would have gone through all of this before the work even began.
They're certainly not victims.
Sir, I have a question. Are any of these units currently occupied?
There are some occupied units. None of the gutted units are occupied, but as you can see from the pictures that I've provided, the first two everything but the last two photos that I've provided, they're a little out of order. When you see the photos of the exterior with blue and white painted, that is its current condition. There's some other exterior photos with orange and blue. That was how it looked exterior when my client purchased it. And then you can see inside the units, all the inside pictures were the pictures my client had from the purchase in August. So you can see what the occupied units insides looked like in those pictures. And those were occupied at the time my client purchased. It wasn't that he re-rented them. These were occupied units that, tenants that were, just had their landlord changed.
So we heard that there's a permit that was applied for in December, but it's lacking any plans. So is it your intention or your client's intention? You said you have to get engineering drawings, so it sounds like you know what the process is. It's just your intention to use that permit to cover all of the issues that are associated with this property, all the renovations, everything?
Not my intention and not my client's intention after I had a long conversation with my client yesterday. My client knows he needs to get multiple new permits that he needs to apply for, which is why we've had conversations about changing his general contractor to somebody that can make sure that we get full, we're gonna have to get after the fact roofing permits, we're gonna have to get the floodplain permits. We've done some preliminary investigation regarding the floodplain. We do believe that we are well under the 50% threshold. I think that there's one particular building, Unit D, which is the gutted building that you saw the pictures of, and that building remains gutted as of today. That building does not have any tenants in it.
Well, that at least is a relief.
I have a question for Ms. Melendez. The roofing permits that expired in April 2025, was the roof work done, completed, inspected, and passed?
Yeah, there was some roof, they have, materials, and they're all fixed.
So roofing is not an issue with the city?
No, it is actually.
It is, because there's no permit, and, some of the roof, you can't see the materials no more, but we don't know if they are, repair.
So there were no inspections on the permit. These 3 roof permits expired without any inspections. From what we were able to see, there are some that were repaired, but others, the roofing material is still hanging off the building. So they would need to have roof permits that match all of the buildings that are out there and then get final approved inspections.
On top of all the interior stuff?
Correct.
Well, that's to be.
So, Ms. Zafra, was this rewritten under new ownership? When did this case originally start under?
This case originally started in October of 2025. So we had a this current case, yes, for the permit issue.
And what, had it been rewritten?
No, this hadn't been rewritten. The previous case that we had on the previous owner was for the actual disrepair.
Okay.
We did not start the permit case until the new owner came and we saw the unpermitted work going on.
All right. Fair enough.
So your client knew since October that they were gonna have to go through this process that you're asking for time now, for drawings, so on and so forth?
I think that my client was getting bad advice from his prior contractor that, we'll have to do more to Unit D when we want to get to Unit D, but as far as cleaning up and renovating the other units that are in good shape, we're just going to swap out appliances. We're going to swap out kind-for-kind light fixtures. We're going to paint the walls, make things look pretty. And so we only need to apply for this basic permit that is clearly insufficient, given, you know, my involvement now. So now that my client has been advised of that and has been encouraged to switch to a more extensive general contractor who can get engineering drawings and handle the entire thing from start to finish, I think that kind of explains a little bit of his delay and why he thought he was proceeding appropriately. He learned in October, he was told he's an out-of-state owner, that the contractor got a permit, he's applying for the permit, and it was in December that that permit was applied for, and then now we're here.
I'll take a cut at something, and we can talk about it? Sure. Okay. Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code, as stated by the codes investigator, have not been corrected. The board orders Bravo 6 Investments, LLC, to correct the violations within 45 days or by April 11th, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $200 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second
So-
for 45 days and $200 per day.
If anybody wants, I can explain why I did that, or...
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any hope that they would get everything they need done in 45 days, but, you know, based on the circumstances and the fact that these owners should have known everything they should have known, as Mr. Waugh clearly stated, then, you know, we just need them to start coming back to special magistrate meetings to keep an eye on them making progress.
So 45 days lights a fire under them.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant, yeah.
I mean, the argument that we should be more generous because it's an out-of-state
No, that-
corporation when we hold local homeowners
Right.
to
Same
a higher
standard.
standard is
Yeah, I mean,
baloney.
I actually considered 30, but
Yeah.
30, 45, I still think they're gonna have to come back to a magistrate.
Yeah, it's the same magistrate anyway, so yeah.
Exactly.
I
Okay.
agree.
And in fact, if it was me, I would have given him more of a fine. I mean, all around, this is a failure of this out-of-state owner to
Absolutely.
do due diligence of any kind.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want me to, I can up.
Well, in looking at the address, I mean, these are folks that are probably just doing the best that they can to make their own ends meet and renting in this area. So it just feels like this person's doing it on the backs of our vulnerable citizens, to be very honest.
And then playing the victim,
Yeah, and then playing a victim card. Well, I'm out of state, I didn't know. Like, that's irrelevant.
poor guy.
I like the increase.
I like the increase. You okay with
You want to
Yeah.
amend that?
I'll amend the motion as follows. The board orders Bravo 6 Investments LLC to correct the violations within 45 days or by April 11th, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $250 per day shall be imposed.
Okay. Any further discussion, or should we? Let's vote.
Alseklis?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Henshaw?
Yes.
Henser?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes. All right, sir, your client has 45 days to get that permit issued. If not, you'll be coming back to a special magistrate's hearing, and he may not be any more sympathetic than we are.
Understood, board, thank you.
Item number 69, property owner Tara Kelly and Felicia Kelly, investigator Jose Rodriguez.
Yes. Yes, Chair.
I am Jose Rodriguez, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 69, case number 25-24903 regarding property located at 1220 7th Avenue South, and I was sworn in at this meeting. This property is a single-family structure and is vacant. This is a codes follow-up case. The property was first inspected on October 8th of 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date November 6th of 2025. Property was last re-inspected on February 17th of 2026, and the following violations still exist. Doors and door frames at front of structure have been replaced without permits. During re-inspection, observed windows were installed without permits as well. 0 out of 1 violations have been corrected since this case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted City Hall, sent certified mail, was posted at the violation address on February 9th of 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 23214, page 1809. During the course of my investigation, my last contact with the owner prior to today was on February 24th of 2026, and owner did not indicate when the violations would be corrected. The department recommends 25 days and $150 per day thereafter for non-compliance. Additional relevant facts regarding this case are, there's a residential renovations permit, number 25-09000176, which expires on July 11th of 2026. And as of January 28th of 26, was ready for corrections, which includes the doors and windows. I would like to enter into evidence exhibit number 1, photographs which were taken on February 17th of 2026, document CEB021726-903JR, and photos 1 through 3. First photograph is the elevation of the structure. This is one of the doors and door frames that have been installed. And this is the other door and door frame that's been installed. I would like to enter this fact sheet into evidence, exhibit number 2, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Does anybody have questions for staff?
You mentioned when the permit would expire, but you didn't mention when it was applied for.
Yeah, I don't have the apply for date in front of me at this time.
It was originally applied for September of 2025, and for extra clarification here, the permit was issued, but then she is now revising it, so it is showing as approved, but the revision is requiring corrections to include the windows and doors.
The September permit didn't include doors?
Correct. So now she's revising it, she's reopened it for revisions, and it's ready for corrections.
And is there anything in there for windows?
It's for both the new revision is for the windows and the doors.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Zafra. Good morning, ma'am. Could we have your
Morning.
name and address for the record, please?
Tara Kelly, 1220 7th Avenue South, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33705.
Thank you. So you're working on the permit, eh?
Yes, so
It's expired and it's approved and it's not approved and...
Yeah, so at the beginning of this particular job, I did have a subcontractor that was in charge of the work. Within 2 months, it showed that this subcontractor did not include the general contractor in the scope of the sequence of the job. So that's when the violations started to appear. And so it was an ongoing lack of communication between the subcontractor and the general contractor. So when the violations appeared, that's when I started to file a complaint with the state and also the city in regards to this particular subcontractor not communicating with the general contractor nor myself, and pretty much breach of contract. He pretty much just abandoned the job. So when that was abandoned, I did not know that doors were installed. I didn't know that the porch, that area, permits. So anything regarding permits, I was unaware that the particular subcontractor did not communicate with the general contractor, nor permits were pulled.
Okay, so help me understand then, where are we today? Do you have a
So,
general contractor?
yes, I am working with the general contractor. As it was stated, we had to revise the permit to include the doors and the windows, and also to include the remaining other renovation, which is the mechanical work, the HVAC, the electrical. So I wanted all of the permits that needed to be pulled so that I don't run into this situation again.
Right. So when do you think you'll have that together to do?
Well, right now, he's submitting the permit. So I'm thinking probably we should have I would say probably the finish of this project at least 90 days. But I know that right now he is submitting the permits, as I spoke with him yesterday.
Okay. And the complex is vacant?
Yes, it's vacant.
How many units are there?
Just one, yes.
So the address that you gave was to the unit. Are you living there?
No, no,
So
no.
you'll need to give for the record what your current address is.
6162 Bartram Village Drive, Jacksonville, Florida, 32258.
Are you working on multiple units in this area?
No, just that one unit.
And so this is a rental?
This is a rental. Yes, it was my mother's rental until she took ill. And so when she went into contract, or myself went into contract with the acting subcontractor, she took ill. So then I took over the house and the job.
Mother is Felicia?
No, Geneva Kelly. Felicia Kelly is my sister.
I'll give it a cut. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code, as stated by the codes investigator, have not been corrected. The board orders Tara Kelly and Felicia Kelly to correct the violations within 90 days or by May 26, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $150 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second, 90 days and 150 per day. Any discussion?
Sounds like they're doing what they should be doing.
Okay. Let's vote.
Osaklis?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Henshaw?
Yes.
Hensler?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes. All right, ma'am, you have 90 days.
Okay, thank you.
Wish you luck.
Thank you.
Item number 81, property owner Enclave at St. Petersburg condo, investigator Joseph Bernori.
I am Joseph Bernori, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 81, case 2511488, regarding the property located at 9100 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Street North. Was sworn in at this meeting. This property is a commercial structure, is occupied by owners and tenants. This is an internal complaint case. Property was first inspected on November 7th, 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of December 5th, 2025. Property was last re-inspected on February 11th, 2025, and the following violations still exist. Permits are required for work on flood zone properties to include post-hurricane repairs to exterior walls. 0 out of 1 violations have been corrected since the case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on February 10th, 2025. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 14552, page 2094. My last contact with the contractor prior to today was February 11th, 2026, and they did not indicate when the violations would be corrected. Department recommends 25 days and $200 per day thereafter for noncompliance. I'd like to enter into evidence as Exhibit 1, photographs which were taken after the hurricane, November 7th and February 11th, 2026. Document FEB 26CB, photos 1 to 8. Here's an elevation shot just of the front office at the condominium complex. I'm going to go through the damages and then the correlating repairs. So here you have a picture after the hurricane on this building, and then the repair. And the same for this building. This building's 10 and 13. Repair to this. And the last one, damages. And repair to that, there's a detail as well for this building 10. And just a little closer up of that repaired area. I'd like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as Exhibit 2, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Bernori. Does anybody have questions for staff?
So no permits even been applied for?
So they had 3 permits. There was one for Building 3, Building 8, Building 14. Building 3 did have an approved final inspection on January 15th, 2026. There were never any permits for Buildings 10 or 13 that this case is for.
So does the flood hazard area permit encompass the entire complex? Were all the buildings there damaged?
So I believe, and Mr. Bernori can correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the damage that was sustained that we're citing for right now was wind damage and just specific to those buildings. I'm not sure if there was any flood damage off the top of my head. I'm not really familiar with this specific case, but, and then, you know, because it's within a flood hazard area, obviously that's the violation that we cite for the permit requirements, commercial property. You know, the combination of all of those repairs would exceed what you could just do as a minimum repair, so.
Anybody else have questions for staff? Good morning, sir. Could we have your name and address for the record, please?
Good morning, Board. My name is James Lofton, Lofton, and my address is 9100 Martin Luther King Street North, specifically Unit 1004, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33702.
So you are one of the owners at the condo?
I'm the president, new president of the Condo Association Board.
Oh, welcome to your presidency. Yeah. Okay, so you need one of those flood hazard permits.
To be candid, this the first inkling that I had that there was any kind of problem was January 25th when we got the first letter referenced this hearing. I've passed that on to our management company. We've had a turnover in leadership both at the board and the management company, so it's a little bit chaotic right now. I will say that we are motivated to get right with the city. I just, honestly, I'm not really sure until this morning what exactly the process was or what the issues were.
Well, I would strongly suggest that after this hearing that you see Mr. Bernori out in the hall and get a quick primer and get ways to stay in contact.
Yes, ma'am, that's my plan.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Well, it's kind of hard to understand how much time to give them if we don't know where. I mean, do they need engineering work, A&E drawings?
I mean, from what we saw, the only reason that they might need to do that is if they decide that they just want to have an affidavit inspection and not have to peel back any of the siding that was already replaced. I mean, it's a pretty basic repair. I don't think that they went into the framing or anything like that.
Doesn't look.
You're right, and so, you know, that would just be, if they're willing to pull back to make sure they did the waterproofing and stuff underneath it appropriately, that would be a much smoother process. If they decide to do affidavit inspections, then yes, an engineer would have to come in and say, yeah, this was all done to code, so.
But they didn't necessarily have to produce drawings or anything for it?
No, not for a basic repair
Okay.
like that, so.
Do you have any idea how much time you want?
My ignorance of this topic is utter and complete. Keeping that in mind, I'm basically AWOL from work right now to attend this hearing.
Mr. Lofton, do you have a property management company, or do you have like a maintenance man, or who did the repairs? Maybe that's a better question.
I don't know. That's part of I passed this on to our property manager, but we had one property manager, we just inherited a new one.
Got it.
She seems very overwhelmed.
That's a good place to start for this.
So I think we need the time to figure out what we need to do and then get it done. But our intention is to get right with the city. I'm not disputing anything. I need the time before the letter said $500 a day fine, and we're really trying to avoid that.
I don't think you'll get but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
we at least appreciate your brutal honesty.
I'd like to use that sometime.
Yeah.
That was a great statement. Okay. Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code as stated by the code's investigator have not been corrected. The board orders Enclave at St. Petersburg Condo to correct the violations within 60 days or by April 26, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $200 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for 60 days and $200 per day. Any discussion?
The special magistrate meeting for that is April, so
Let's vote.
Alseclas?
Yes.
Schneider?
yes.
Henshaw?
Yes.
Hensler?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes. All right, so the board has given you 60 days to get a permit issued.
Yes, ma'am.
That's an important fact to know, because just applying for it won't get you out of trouble. You gotta get it issued,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
Just a small correction, the special magistrate meeting for that one is May,
May.
not April.
I'm sorry. If I said April, I meant May.
So if you would please see the codes investigator out in the hall, he can give you another overview and give you contact numbers and stuff.
All right, thank you very much.
We wish you the best.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Item 56, property owner, Hire Cadwell LLC, investigator Glenn Haight.
I am Glenn Haight, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 56, case number 25-25258, regarding property located at 5700 Bahia Grande Boulevard Northeast. I was sworn in at the start of this meeting. This is a single-family structure and is currently vacant. This is an internal complaint case. The property was first inspected on October 2nd of 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with compliance date November 11th, 2025. The property was last inspected on February 5th, 2026, and the following violations still remain. And it's the work was done on the house after a flood without a post-disaster emergency permit. 0 out of 1 violations have been corrected since this case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, and sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on February 5th, 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 22999, page 2586. During the course of my investigation, my last contact with the owner was on October 23rd, 2025, and he did not indicate when he would expect this to be corrected. The department recommends 25 days and $150 per day thereafter for noncompliance. I would like to enter into evidence as Exhibit 1, photos which were taken on September 30th, 2025, document 093025-258 BNG, photos number 1 through 16. So the house was offered for rent on Realtor.com, and that's where we located the home and pictures of the renovations that occurred. This is a written description of the house, which includes, towards the bottom, this home was impacted by Hurricane Helene, but has been fully remediated. And here's pictures of the interior of the house after the renovations with new kitchen, new wood floors. And then another picture of one of the rooms that had been remodeled after the storm. And this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Haight. Does anybody have questions for staff?
Chair, the only thing that I would add is that a permit is in process, but the scope of work is over the substantial improvement of 49%.
That determination has been made?
based on the permit as it was submitted, and, you know, so we didn't show photographs, but this property sold in October of 2024, and basically there's a 4-foot drywall cut throughout the entire house. And, you know, so it was a significant renovation that occurred there. Now, there's the opportunity to submit an appraisal to bring the value up based on whatever property appraiser had valued. So I don't think that they've done that yet because there haven't been any resubmissions, but we can hear testimony from the representative.
Good to know.
Very good to know.
Good morning. Could we have your name and address for the record, please?
Good morning. My name is Alyssa Gagnon, and my firm's address is 5453 Central Ave. That's Weber, Crab, and Ween, and I'm appearing on behalf of Hire Caldwell.
Okay, are you an attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
So, your client failed to get a permit for the work that they did. And with that, you have an additional complication of the 49% rule.
Yes.
How much time does your client need to get this fixed?
Well, the 49% is a fact that I've just become aware of, and I was recently retained on this case. Originally, there have been some rejections that I've noticed in the permit history, and so they were just asking for 45 days in case there is a rejection on that permit again, so we can make sure we can get an inspector out there.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions?
Mr. Watt, did you say that the permit that was applied for, did it not cover the entire scope, or I couldn't remember?
No, it did, and I think that that's obviously what put it across the threshold of the substantial improvement at the 49%.
Okay, so the permit as applied for, notwithstanding the 49% issue, covers all the work that was done?
Yeah, I'll double check, but I would imagine because it went over that there was the full scope.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But they still need the, whatever it is, PDEP permit?
Yeah, so, I mean, it can't be approved, obviously, because we can't approve a substantial improvement over the 49%. And so if they're not able to bring a new appraisal to the table that then puts them underneath that threshold, then
So they
there's
need-
a big problem, you know, that they're gonna have to.
They need an appraisal.
Yes, because for the permit that was submitted, that was already determined to be over the value.
Okay, so they're not, it's not an inspection issue, it's already been determined, and they need to provide appraisal numbers to try and get out from underneath the 49% situation.
Correct.
Got it.
Does the applicant get notified of that? I mean, have they known that this was the issue?
Yeah, so there was a note from January 15th of 26 that said the project exceeds the FEMA maximum substantial improvement valuation. Provide one or more of the following for consideration, provide a valid certified private appraisal that shows pre-storm values and pictures for review, or make the entire structure FEMA compliant, which would be elevating the structure basically.
Right.
Gotta love clients.
Gotta love it. But I think this does maybe help in my point, and if we could just ask for a little bit more time for those 25 days. I was actually here for 4 other addresses. I was number 9 as well, and those have been taken care of. So my client is very motivated to get these done and, you know, be right with the city.
Oh, it's the same client that owns a whole bunch of property.
That is correct.
Does that
Well, I
reside in Pinellas County?
Pinellas, and really the addresses are under one management company, so the homes themselves may have different owners, but they are managed by someone who retained us.
I see. So, what is your number of days ask now?
Well, with the appraisal, to make sure everything's right, I would ask for 60 now.
This was an internal complaint. It first opened in October? Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know what the backlog is for appraisals, but is it do we need 60 days for an appraisal? No. I mean, seems like to me, you can go hire and get an appraisal. That's gonna answer the question right there. I mean, that's gonna be a yes, no kind of thing, right?
Right, but if it's no, then that substantially complicates the situation moving forward as far as what compliance looks like.
No, I know, but there's not a number on this chart that I can give you to get compliant with that problem.
Correct.
So,
No,
so all I'm really looking for is how much time do you need to get an appraisal and submit it to the city, right?
Yeah, and then if it's determined to be underneath 49%, the permit moves forward and everything's good.
They would need time, I guess, for the permit to finish.
Yeah.
I guess my issue is just that they were notified in January about the 49% threshold, and now here we are at the end of February, and we're being asked to give more time so that they can line up an appraisal, which does not seem like it should take that much time to arrange.
Well, they could have did that back in November.
Agreed. Or October when they first were cited. Yeah, agreed.
I'll read something if you guys want.
All right.
Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code as stated by the codes investigator have not been corrected. The board orders Hire Caldwell LLC to correct the violations within 45 days or by April 11th, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $150 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second, 45 days and $150 per day. Any discussion? All right, let's vote.
Alsaklis,
Yes.
Snyder,
Yes.
Henshaw,
Yes.
Hensler,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes. All right, ma'am, the board has given your client 45 days. If it should go beyond that, trying to get this situation straightened out, they will get a notice to attend a special magistrate's hearing. Someone needs to come to that hearing, because if you're close to getting your permit issued, the magistrate will probably give you more time to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't come, then fines start. Okay?
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Item number 97, property owner William H. Levitt, investigator Katrina Miller.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Miller, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 97, case 25-26835, regarding the property located at 2400 South Shore Drive Southeast. I was sworn in at this meeting. The property is a single-family structure and is vacant. This is a codes follow-up case. The property was first inspected on October 30th, 2025, and a violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of November 21st, 2025, with an extension of December 21st, 2026. The property was last re-inspected on February 19, 2026, and the following violations still exist. The boat dock is in disrepair with broken and or missing parts in a leaning position. The seawall is in disrepair and a permit is needed and will be required for the repair or replacement. The yard at the property has large holes and depression, and there's no legal premises agent on file. 3 out of 7 violations have been corrected since the case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on February 6, 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to the hearing. Ownership was confirmed on County Official Records, book number 23283, page 2596. During the course of my investigation, my last contact with the owner prior to today was February 2026 via email. Owner did not indicate when the violations will be corrected. The department recommends 25 days and $150 per day thereafter for non-compliance. There is a permit on file with the Engineering and Capital Improvement Department. My last email with that department stated that the work has not been inspected, which means no work has started as of yet. I would like to enter into evidence as Exhibits 1, photographs which were taken on October 30th, 2024, February 19, 2026, document 0219268335 CEB, photos 1 through 4. This is an elevation shot of the property. Here's a photo of the backyard with the depression. Here's a photo of the dock that is in disrepair. Here's a closer photo of the dock, and we can also see that that seawall is in disrepair. I would like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as Exhibits 2, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Does anybody have questions for staff?
Yes, Chair. I couldn't help but notice on your photo that the date was from 2024. Did I get that right?
Yes, 2024, I apologize.
So, but the case stated that it was in 2025. Was it actually started in 2024?
So what happened when we had the flood cases, we didn't start the case until later, like we noticed the violation.
Understood. Makes sense.
And also, there was a change of ownership. The property was in foreclosure, and the bank had the property, and then we had to rewrite the case also.
Thank you.
So, a few things.
Once again, what's the status of the permit? Has it been applied for? Has it been?
Ms. Miller read in that there was an approved engineering permit, but there have been no inspections on the seawall.
So the engineering permit would just cover the seawall?
And not,
When you say inspections, typically you do that after the work's done. This is an inspection prior to the work?
No, this is in reference to the work actually being done on the seawall. So there's been no inspections taking place, there's been no work on the seawall. And then as far as any permits on the actual structure, they have an approved post-disaster emergency permit. There have also been no inspections on that permit, but it is active.
So both are active?
Both are active.
there's just been no work, and there is a requirement within the permit that work has to commence. You can't just get a permit.
Understand.
So it looks like the only thing that would be missing would be the dock permit if they plan to replace the dock.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Could we have your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, my name is William Levitt. My address is 645 Canosa Street, Haverhill, Mass. 01830.
Okay. So where are you at with the seawall and the dock?
So I have a contract with Gibson Marine for the wall, which also includes the filling in the depression and all that. And so the permit, I mean, she has the permit number, but I can give you the permit number here as well. My problem is 90 days after they issue the permits, so I'm just waiting for them. I've been asking them to come. They came out yesterday. I ask them to come out every day, but they're 90 days out. That's my problem.
Oh, so they're not going to commence work for another 90 days, that's what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
So I have them permitted. I gave them a deposit. They're scheduled to come out to do it. I'm waiting for them. Right after that, so I also have a permit with the dock company, Speedload Dock. As soon as they're done theirs, they need to make some measurements. I gave them a deposit as well. I can show you the records I have for Speedler. They're pulling the permits right now for the dock.
Okay.
What's your intent to do with this property?
Live there?
You're gonna live there?
Yes. Me and my wife, that's our intentions to move down here. Thus, we don't live here right now. We're retiring and moving down here. We're trying to get it fixed up so we can do that.
Sure, I had a question for the city. One of the issues that you mentioned was legal premises agent. I'll expose my ignorance. I'm not sure exactly what that means.
So when,
What is it?
oh, so when someone does not live in the immediate area, then they need someone to represent them.
We asked for a form if the owner isn't local to Manatee, Hillsborough, or Pinellas, something that just designates a person that we can reach out to in case they're.
So interesting.
So I can provide that with whatever, today or for whatever, next 10 days or whatever, some number like that. Whatever. That's not a problem.
Thank you. I'm educated now.
So any other questions?
But from a timing standpoint, are we just considering the amount of time to get the permit for the dock, or what? What are we being asked to provide
Based off
time?
of the property owner's testimony, I believe he was saying the seawall was going to be addressed first and then the dock. So I would say that it's most likely the issue is how long it's going to take the seawall company to.
I think 90 days and then 90 days is kind of what we're looking at right now for seawall guys. They're busy. I don't know.
Right, so.
Guy that came out yesterday said he had 7 crews running 24/7, so I don't know.
So 90 days on the seawall and how many days on the dock?
I would say 90 days. I would have him do it tomorrow. I already gave him the down payment. I mean, I'm just waiting for him to get in there as fast as they can get in there. So it's just a scheduling for those guys. They're busy.
So when are you planning on moving down?
Probably within maybe like a year. It's kind of our plan to retire and move down.
Okay. So in the meantime, though, you do need to designate a legal premises agent.
I can absolutely do that.
Wonderful. Anybody want to read something?
All right, I'll take a cut at it. Based upon the evidence presented in this case, I move that the board issue the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. The board finds that the violations of the St. Petersburg City Code, as stated by the codes investigator, have not been corrected. The board orders William Levitt to correct the violations within 90 days or by May 26, 2026. If this order is not complied with, a fine of $150 per day shall be imposed.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for 90 days and $150 per day. Any discussion? Let's vote.
Alseklis?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Hanshaw?
Yes.
Hensler?
Yes.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes. All right, Mr. Levitt, you have 90 days. As soon as that permit is issued, the case goes on hold
For the dock you're talking about.
for the dock and for the seawall.
The seawall's already been issued. The permit's already been issued for the seawall.
Right.
It's the dock.
As soon as the work commences, I think you're pretty much home free.
Okay.
But they will be inspecting, so,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
thank you.
Welcome to the city.
Is everybody okay if we take a 10-minute break?
Sure.
We'll be taking a
Okay.
break.
Thank you, everyone, for waiting. We'll get started again. Our next case is
Item number 86, property owner Matthew McCormack and Alessandra McCormack, investigator Joseph Bernori.
I am Joseph Bernori, Codes Investigator for the City of St. Petersburg, testifying in reference to item number 86, case 2527590, regarding the property located at 200 98th Avenue Northeast. I was sworn in at this meeting. This property is a single-family structure and is occupied by owner. It's an internal complaint case. Property was first inspected on November 24th, 2025. Violation notice sent to the owner with a compliance date of December 18th, 2025. Property was last re-inspected on February 11th, 2026. The following violations still exist. Permit is required for mechanical equipment installation per stop work order by the building department. 0 out of 1 violations have been corrected since the case began. Notice of hearing was sent first-class mail, posted at City Hall, sent certified mail, and was posted at the violation address on February 11th, 2026, which is at least 10 days prior to this hearing. Ownership was confirmed in County Official Records, Book 21377, page 2368. During the course of my investigation, my last contact with the owner prior to today was February 11th, 2026. The owner did not indicate when the violations would be corrected. The department recommends 25 days and $100 per day thereafter for noncompliance. Additional relevant facts regarding this case is there is a closed post-disaster emergency permit with approved building and plumbing final inspections that did not include mechanical. I would like to enter into evidence as exhibit number 1, photographs which were taken on November 24th, 2025, February 11th, 2026. Document FEB 26CB, photos 1 to 2, and also the stop work order. So first you have the stop work order by the building department. Elevation shot of the home. And a photo of the raised HVAC condenser. I'd like to enter this fact sheet into evidence as exhibit number 2, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Bernori. Can you educate me? Is that a new unit, or is it just that they raised it?
Yeah, we need a permit to change the height of the unit, and the building official that was there inspecting the other things noted the change without that specific permit.
Okay.
The form you showed us talked about a zoning issue, a setback issue for the AC.
I can look at it again. Was there a question about it?
Well, I mean,
There-
is there an issue with that or not?
So that was the stop work order was for the fact that the new AC was installed on the stand. The ACs are reviewed by zoning for the setback requirements, so that's the reason for the stop work order.
Okay, so,
New AC, and it didn't meet the setbacks.
and it didn't meet the setback because of the height?
That would be
Setback is usually from a property line or something, right?
correct, but this is what the building department has provided us, that it doesn't meet the current zoning setbacks for the AC.
Mr. Bernori, could you bring the stop work order back up?
Sure. And also, as long as we're on this photo here, I'm not sure we'd have to look into what the setback would be, but here's the property line there.
Yeah.
So it may be like less than 6 feet or
I
something
think it's
that's.
3 feet. Is the-
Yeah, my assumption, and Mr. Bernori can pull the stop order back up, but I don't think it necessarily is a setback issue. It could be a screening issue because typically they have to be screened from the view from the right-of-way, and that would be more of a zoning piece.
It says new AC on stand that does not meet City St. Pete zoning in setbacks. That's what I read.
Correct, and the building department, I don't know if they got with zoning first to make that determination, or candidly, we haven't seen many of these from a code standpoint since the AC's been elevated. I don't know if the requirement for a setback increases as the elevation increases, but my assumption would be that it's more related to the screening and making sure that it's on the correct platform, because we've seen some permits that require, engineer drawings basically for the platform that the AC sits on.
Okay.
So.
All right.
All right. Good morning, sir. Could you please give us your name and address for the record?
My name is Matthew McCormick, and it's 298th Avenue Northeast, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33702.
Okay, so you did the smart thing and you put that sucker up in the air and now you're paying for it.
I didn't do anything, ma'am. I just PCS to Florida in August, purchased the house in September, and then I was told that there was some violation, and I've tried to rectify that through the city, tried to do my own permit, and that didn't work too well. And so I have a contractor who pulled a permit, I think yesterday. Just trying to
He
do the right
applied
thing.
for one yesterday.
Excuse me, sir?
He applied for one yesterday.
Yes, sir. I have it here if you guys need it.
Yeah. So once that permit is approved, then that puts the case on hold.
I think, I'm not sure, how do I know if it was approved, ma'am? I have the permit here.
And if you have it there, can you give them the number of
Sure. Application number?
application number. That's not an approved permit.
So that's why I said they probably applied for it, but that, they still have
He
a process
applied,
to go
yeah.
through before it gets issued.
You might have.
Oh, okay, okay.
Chair, if I may.
Just did it yesterday, it may not show up in our system yet.
It'll be a while.
Okay.
Yeah, Chair, so there's a permit, and with an equal change out, it's almost an automatic approval.
Is it?
But I'm looking at the notes, and it does make and this is just the general note, so not specific to this property, but what I just mentioned to Mr. Snyder is they can encroach into the setbacks as long as it's not more than 12 inches above grade. So the fact that it's now elevated above 12 inches above the grade, then the setback issue might come in to play there. So
Makes more sense.